Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make these little winky-eyed polymer clay earrings. These are super easy and with bake time only take about 30 minutes. Alright, let's get started. So the first thing you need is polymer clay, and I recommend Primo by Sculpey, and you need it in the color white and also in the color gray granite. Then to start, you'll need two tools. I'm using an X-Acto knife, but you could also just use a regular knife. Then you need something to poke a hole with. I'm using a clay pick, but a toothpick would work just fine. So you don't really need very much clay. I've got about a half of a gumball size of the white clay, and then a fourth of that in the gray granite. Then just mix those two together until there's no streaks. It should look something like this. Now I'm just going to roll that into a ball, and then grab my X-Acto knife and cut that in half. You want your two pieces to be about the same size, and roll them both into separate balls. For the next part, I'm rolling the ball into a football shape. To do this, start with a ball in the middle of your palm and roll it slowly outwards. It should make a kind of a football shape like this. Then I'm taking the handle of my X-Acto knife and rolling it out flat. Don't press too hard. This is the shape we're going for, like an eyeball. Then repeat the process for the second eye. I like to compare them to make sure they match, and it's also a good idea to check that they match on the thickness as well. Now take your pick and make a small hole near the bottom. It kind of helps if you twist your pick in. Make sure it goes all the way through, and then repeat on the other earring. They should look like this. I'm putting them on a piece of white paper that is stapled to cardboard. You could also use a cookie sheet, you just want something that's flat. Then you'll also want an oven thermometer. Then lay your two pieces flat on the cardboard, and we're going to bake them for 15 minutes at 275 degrees. Now I use an extra thermometer because I found that the one on my toaster oven is off by 50 degrees. Also a good idea to open a window because it does smell kind of weird. After 15 minutes, take them out. For the next step, you'll need two stud posts and some liquid Sculpey, which is like a liquid clay. If you don't have this, you can just use regular clay. You want to find the flat backside of your earring, add some liquid clay, stick your post to it, and make sure it's centered. Then add a bit more on top of it and spread it out evenly. And repeat on the second earring. Now if you don't have liquid clay, you can just use regular clay. Just make sure to cover the post with a thin layer. Then put it back in the oven for 20 minutes at 275 degrees. After 20 minutes, they should look like this. To finish the front of the earrings, you'll need a black acrylic paint and a very thin paintbrush. A toothpick will also work. Then I like to use an old glob of clay to hold my earring while I paint. To paint the eyes, you only need a tiny bit of paint. I find it a bit easier to paint it upside down. First I add the lash line, and then I add the lashes one by one. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so if I ever make a line that I don't like, after it's dry, I use my X-Acto knife and gently scrape it off, and then I just paint it again. First one's looking pretty good. To paint the second earring, I used a toothpick, and I actually liked it better than my brush. I was able to make more precise and thinner lines. Pretty happy with how these turned out. Now on to the last step, where you'll need two 6mm rings 2 moon charms, and 2 earring backs. Then to assemble the earrings, you'll need a pair of needle nose pliers. 2 works the best, but you can also use tweezers if you don't have pliers. First, you need to open the ring and slip it through the hole on the earring. Then add the moon charm and close the ring tightly. Then feed the ring through so that where the ring closes is covered by the clay. This will prevent the charm from falling off. Then repeat on the other earring. This is how they should look. Now just add the backs to each, and you're finished. If you'd like to own your own pair without the trouble of making them, I sell these on my Etsy shop. Link is below. What would you like to see next? Let me know in the comments. Bye! You moved up from the East Coast.